here on this Saturday evening. Today is the 36th webinar, and the topic for today is why is 3% better than 97%? Interesting, right? So I'm sure we have so much to take away from today's session by our wonderful speaker. NLG, as I call it, the Networking and Learning Group, is founded by Jason and myself. Jason is an amazing storyteller, a speaker, networking expert. He has something called story times where he interviews people on his channel, and he broadcasts it on LinkedIn as well. You can go and check the stories. It's an amazing initiative which Jason has taken, and thank you for doing that, Jason. He's a Canva expert. Thank you for teaching that. And I had started using Canva because of Jason, actually. And he has a mission to connect with 100,000 people. That's so wonderful. My name is Sushma Priju, and I'm an HR generalist by profession, as well as NLP master practitioner. I love HR, and thus I like dealing with people, having that human touch. And my mission is to create an impact positive, to create an impact people to unleash their potential as well. We have pillars of NLG. They are Taqiyuddin and Anil Kunaku. Taqiyuddin Theparambil is QHSE professional, entrepreneurship enthusiast, MBA in HR, and MSc in biotechnology. He has started his own venture with frozen foods and two other food products. And I wish all the best to Taki. Anil is a mentor, a coach, HR professional, NLP master practitioner. He's Toastmaster. We see his thoughts with name AK Thought in our group daily. He's a career guide, and he's associated to mentor students with the Singapore University. So what all we see here, there is a lot of work to be done behind the scene. And I thank you, the pillars of NLG, Jason, that we all are in this together to make this successful. Why is NLG? Why did we create this group? We had started it more than a year ago with an intention to network, share, and learn from each other. This is what is the motto of our group. We are here to learn and share with each other. So if you would like to share your expertise, your learning with us, do let us know. It will be great to have you as a speaker in next coming weeks. What is NLG? So we have two groups within NLG. One is NLG League, another one is NLG Careers. So NLG League is more about learning and sharing the experiences, the knowledge. NLG Careers is more about job search and vacancies. So those who are looking for jobs can join NLG Careers. We'll be sharing the group links so that you can connect with us. We are available on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and LinkedIn as well. Again, the links will be shared in the chat box so that you can join as well as share it with your family and friends. Two rules to be followed. Once I stop sharing, you all will be muted, so please stay on mute. You may use chat box for comments, questions, and you also may raise your hand once speaker is done with the talk so that you all can ask questions. You may put your questions in the chat box, and I'll be keeping a note of it so that speaker can answer you at the end. The speaker has so much to share with us, so please be ready with your notes, or you may take screenshots as you like. what has NLG been through? NLG, in earlier days, we used to have webinar, the conferences in person, but since pandemic hit us, we all are on virtual meet now through Zoom. So today is the 36th webinar. So we are already done with 35 Zoom sessions. And these are few of the sessions which had taken place earlier. We have amazing speakers from different globe sections, different nationalities, different countries. And we had so much of learnings till date and so much to come in coming days. This was last week's conference, which was the first session of 2021, which is interview conference. And we had 3 amazing speakers with chief guest as well. So let's have today's speaker introduction. His name is Samir Geepee. He is a life coach, a speaker, conversationalist. What do you mean by conversationalist? So I love his art of questions. So the way he picks the questions up, how to get into the conversation and how to have hold of your conversation, that is amazing. And he runs his sessions with Turning Point and Awesome Walkers. I was a regular attendee of Turning Point. So that's why I'm very passionate and I can definitely vouch for it. Please do join him on Sundays, 7 p.m. every week for Turning Point sessions. He's the author of amazing book called Awesome Cup. And if you're looking for a planner, he has created an awesome planner, which is called Awesome Planner, which can plan your day, your life, your years so systematically. Without much ado, over to you, Samir. Good evening, and thank you for being here today.
Good evening, Sushma. Thank you very much for that warm introduction. And when you were preparing the flyer and you asked for all the titles, I said, remove everything, just put leadership coach because I just didn't, I wanted to keep things simple. Can we just get this screen share? Yeah, fine. Yes, but thank you so much for that warm introduction and really looking forward to the next 1 hour plus that we'll be sharing with everyone over here. Thank you everyone for being present here today. Thank you for your valuable time. You could be doing anything. You could be anywhere. You could be watching Netflix. You could be just reading a book, or you could be having a dinner, or sleeping even, or relaxing. But you chose to be here. You chose to be a learner. You chose to be somebody who is hungry to know more, to explore more of your own journey. And I hope I would add some value into your journey in the next 1 hour. So what we'll be doing is, before we begin, I'd like to see in the chat what you have to say. When you joined in for today's session and you heard the title, Why 3% is Better, what was going through your mind? Just put in the chat window, what was it that brought you towards this topic? Let me just see in the chat. If it's nothing, just type nothing. You just came for exploring. If you have something specific, write what you came here for, just to see where the expectations are. Curiosity, okay. Srija says curiosity. Rashi says she wants to know what it is. Pongal says she came to understand how that can be possible, how 3% can be better than 97%. Okay. Do you hear something awesome? Rosina. Ankit, maths. Okay. Prasad says the minority age of people do the majority of the work. Okay. Interesting. Jason says really 3% can really change things around by believing in the power of ourselves. Yes, Jason. Ashmita says, I thought we will be talking about the failures of our minority. Okay. Asal says, came to witness what my mentor will be sharing with something new. Okay. Nokia 6.1. Oh, Nokia is still around. I thought Nokia is closed down, but interesting. I'm sure iPhone and Apple will be glad that, the competition is still around. But if you would like to rename yourself, please go ahead and do that. Nokia, we would love to know what your name is truly. Adnan says what it really means to be part of the 2 to 3%. Okay, interesting. All right. So the next 1 hour could be things that you might have heard before, could be things that you're hearing for the first time. No matter what it is, what I want you to do is I want you to be completely present here, mindfully, without any judgment, but from a space of perception, from a space to receive and to see what it means for your life, for your journey. And in that, you will create an opportunity, not for me, not for somebody else, but just for yourself to see where you can take your own life to the next level. All right. So I will be sharing my screen over here. And what we will do is I will take all questions because, okay, let me do one more question over here. Let me just put one. So what you're going to do is once you click on this link, I'm going to disable chat for now for everyone so that you'll not be able to chat anymore during the duration of this presentation. But after the presentation is over, what we can do is we will open it up again so that we can eliminate all distractions. Can you see a link over there? So it's not a link, just copy paste it onto your browser. Do you all see? Can you just take it and you're not seeing anything on the chat? It's going, okay, 1 second.
We can see.
Okay, wait, it's gone to the...
In waiting room, yes.
Now can you see? Yes. So I'd appreciate all of you to just copy paste that, click on it, and answer the question that is in the form. So I will give you all a minute more. It's just one question to answer. Can you give me a thumbs up if you're able to see it? You either through the reaction button or if your videos are on. Okay.
Just to confirm, Samir, I am unable to copy paste. I had to type it. So I'm not sure
Yes.
how is it for others.
Yes, you'll have to type it. If you're not able to copy paste, you'll have to just type it out. So we'll give them an extra minute just to type it. I don't think there is another option, right?
We have poll option, Jason.
No, it's not a poll. I mean, to give them the link.
No, there is no option. We have to type it.
No,
no...
link, yeah, link is then only link. If everyone can please go to that link and answer, it's only one question.
And I'm going to start in the next 1 minute. Let me just prepare myself as well. All right. If you haven't done it yet, you can do it later. That's all right. Not a problem. We will begin. So what? Can you see my screen, Sushma? All right. So what you're going to do is I'm going to share with you why 3% is better. And today what we'll be covering is why, what, and the how, meaning why 3% is better, what can you do, and how to do it. All right, let's begin. So first I'll talk to you about the Harvard study, which was done where there was a 10-year study that was done in Harvard in the late 70s, I believe. And what they discovered was after a 10-year study, 84%, 13%, and 3% of the students, when they went and checked what they had done, what was the difference between a few of the students, 84% had no specific goals that they had set when they graduated from college. And the 13% who had goals, but they were not committed to paper, or they had not written down goals. And there was 3% who had clear written goals and plans to accomplish them. All right. So what the study revealed also was that this 3% had achieved almost 5 to 10 times more success in almost all aspects of their life, especially finance and relationships and all that stuff, than the combined 97%. Now, this sounds staggering, but it is not without a method. There is a method to this whole process, and it is not just simply writing it down, but there are a few elements that these 3% followed as well. And what that is what I'll be sharing with you today. Some of the things, once you get it. So have you seen people where you find that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer? Have you heard this, or have you come across this? You must have, because I certainly have. And for the longest period of time, I was wondering, what is it that they keep doing over and over again that I'm not doing? What is missing in my game plan, or what is it that I should do so that I can jump into the same bracket as them? So there are three absolutely essential things for success for anyone that is looking to be successful. And the three things are the mindset, the skill set, and the tool sets, right? Now, the mindset is absolutely essential. Without having a mindset, so if you think about the 3% who actually went down and wrote their goals and started planning for it, you can imagine that if you had to do something of that sort, you have to have the right mindset. You have to be thinking what you really want to achieve. So today, if you have filled that form right now, you have done the same thing as what the 3% were doing. You have put into words what it is that you truly want for yourself. You have done one part of the act that the 3% do and follow, which is have clear written goals. Now, the second aspect is to plan for it. And this is what we will be covering mostly over here today. But think about it. Let's talk about $1 million business, all right? $1 million business, when it starts off, it starts with zero, right? They have no capital, they have nothing, and they start from scratch, like any business. If you think about Facebook, if you think about Amazon, if you think about any business for that matter, once upon a time, one day, it was just an idea. It was nothing but just an idea. Started with zero capital, which means when they went to the drawing board, there was nothing when they started. Now, in the first year, what could have happened is for $1 million business. Now, this is just an expression over here, right? They might have gone through a loss of $100,000. Now, the second year, they might have gone through a loss of $50,000. The third year, they started breaking even. It depends on how you start learning from your mistakes and how you start adopting and how you start correcting your procedures and operations. You have to keep doing those. Once you start doing those things effectively, then in the fourth year, probably you'll make a $15,000 profit. The fifth year, you start making probably $150,000 profit. The sixth year, you probably make $1 million because that was the goal that you had set from the beginning, that you want to make $1 million in your business. Now, my question to you is this. In the sixth year, when they make $1 million, is it when they become a success? Now, a lot of people, if you look at it, if you look at people around over here, we define success in a very, very uh, black and white manner, or there's no gray area to it. And how we define success is if you achieve a lot of wealth, or if you achieve what you want to achieve, only then you are successful. And because of which a lot of people don't even set goals, because, and they might set goals which is very safe, which they will not fail, because their idea is, if I set a high goal and if I don't achieve success, if I don't achieve it, then I am a failure. And that belief system that if I don't succeed, then I fail, is what stops a lot of people from actually setting goals sometimes. So think about it. When has this $1 million business become a success? Now, let me share it with you. In my opinion, every step of the way, they are a success if they are working towards becoming a $1 million business. Even if they lose $100,000, even if they lose $150,000, even if they lose or break even, no matter what they're doing, if they're progressively improving, if they're progressively taking action every single day towards becoming better and better and better, then they are a successful business. Success is not defined by what you achieve, but what you consistently keep doing. Success is a mindset. And the moment you have that mindset that I am going to continuously, progressively grow better than yesterday, better than who I was, then you'll start seeing that your business will start growing. Now, business is just a metaphor over here. Even our life journey is the same. Each one of our lives, whatever we choose for ourselves, if we are progressively moving towards what we want for ourselves, then we are a success. So if we are thinking, I will become successful when I get this, or if I achieve this, then we are limiting ourselves in our thinking. If we say, I am successful right now because I am being better than who I was yesterday, and if every step of the way, every single day, you're progressively improving on what you were the previous day, then you are on this journey of success. And the moment you can accept that, and the moment you commit to that, the moment you say, I am going to be better than who I was yesterday in each aspect of my life, in whatever I'm doing, and if that becomes our measure, then it becomes an amazing journey. And there's no stopping, right? So I remember once when I was in a business, and they were a they're today a multi-billion-dollar business. And I was sitting with the business owner and I was having a discussion with him. And this was probably 14 years ago, 15 years ago. In 2015, I was sitting and having a chat with a gentleman. To give you a context, this person today, he sold his business. He didn't sell his business. He sold his share in his business, in that business. And when he had started, he had put in, I think, 10 lakh rupees. And today the business grew and his share alone was worth 500 crore rupees. So he made a lot of money and he's really, really successful. But back then in 2005, when I asked him this question, I asked him, brother, you're already successful. You have made so much of money for yourself, for your future generations. Why do you keep doing what you're doing? And his response was epic. He said, Samir, it's like you are sailing into the sea or you're swimming into the sea. And your only option is to keep swimming. If you stop, you'll drown. And there's no point swimming back. Because when you swim forward, you get stronger. So I found that as a very, very powerful lesson for me to take away and store away. And this is something that I want to share with each one of you today. At the end of today's talk, what I will encourage each one of you to do is, I will ask for that one insight, because sometimes it is just one insight that can change our lives forever. It can be that one insight that you take away. It can be more than one, it can be 5, it can be 10, but I want you to record your insights. And what I mean by insights is this. It's not repeating what I'm just saying, but Insights are like gateways within our minds. And the moment we have a gate open inside our mind, it's impossible for it to be shut again. Because you opened a gateway and you have moved forward. And once you move forward through that gate, then you look for the next insight or the next gateway to open. And the beauty of what Sushma and Jason and Teguddin and Anil is doing over here is they're creating the opportunity for people to open more and more gateways to the mind by sharing. So what we have over here is when you go on a journey of continuous learning, when you come from the mindset that I'm continuously going to grow, then what happens is you create the opportunity for you to open gateways inside your mind and to keep marching towards what you truly desire for yourself. And the moment you know with clarity where you're heading, then when the gates open, it makes meaning to the journey that you have for yourself. Now imagine you have a car. You have a car and you sit in it and you start driving. You start driving with no destination in mind. How would that be? I mean, you would get somewhere, right? But that's what happens with life as well, right? A lot of people, they get into life and they're just sitting and cruising, not really knowing where they want to get to. So they see a petrol station, they get in, they buy some food, they fill some petrol, they keep moving. In the context of life, they do go to office, they do some work, they get their paycheck, they come home, they eat their food, and they go to sleep. And if your journey is about exercising and hiking and just checking out what is the mileage of the car, then it's fine. It works, right? But if your intention is, let's say, from Dubai, if you want to get to Abu Dhabi, that will not work. That strategy will not work. I mean, of course, you will reach Abu Dhabi one fine day because the world is round, but how long are you going to wait for that? So you got the option to actually find out what is the shortest route to your destination, but you can do that only and only and only if you know what the destination looks like and what you want it to be for you. So the moment you have clarified for yourself and asked yourself, what is it that you truly want for yourself? Then you also look at each and every setback that comes into your journey as a feedback, as an opportunity for you to correct yourself. So if you look at this $1 million business, why after the first year when it went into minus losses, they still kept going? So we're talking over here about $1 million business. Let's talk about $1 billion business. Let's talk about Facebook, for instance. The first almost 6 to 7 years, they were into extreme losses. Yet investors kept putting in money and helping the company grow. Why do you think that was? Well, if you have the answer, great, but I'll share with you what my point of view is. The metric that they were measuring was not money, because they knew that if they did a few things right, the money would follow. And this is true for everything in your life. For Facebook, what they focused on is getting the population of the world onto their platform. They focused on getting as many people spending more and more time on their platform. How many other websites, apart from Google and Facebook, do you visit multiple times in a day? Hardly any, right? As much as you would face probably Instagram and the WhatsApp and TikTok and all that stuff. But I mean, look, apart from these very popular social media, because attention is the currency that these people are focusing on. So in your business, in your journey, ask yourself, what does failure look like? And how can you work on that? Because failure is just telling you what you set out for has not worked. So correct it. Now, speaking about New Year resolutions, we are here at the beginning of the year, and I just thought I would just bring that context over here as well. A lot of people set New Year resolutions over here. Now, with the reaction button, just give a thumbs up if you have set some new resolution for yourself for this year. Okay, we have a few hands going up with new resolutions. Yeah, me too. I set new resolutions as well. And a lot of times what happens is new resolutions fail as well because we don't look at it from a very long-term perspective. We don't look at it from a space of observation, correction, modification. So if you realize what you have to do to make new resolutions work, probably in this talk, you might find an insight. So there are a few tools over here, but I'm going to focus on two of them. I'm not going to talk about the very popular one, which is the smart setting goals, which almost everyone over here, if you are in this group, I'm sure you're quite aware of what SMART goals are, how to set specific, measurable, accountable, or realistic, or risky, or time-bound goals. We all know all those things. But I'm going to touch upon one aspect over here, which is called OKRs. Now, OKRs has been introduced by, it was first introduced by Andrew Grove of Intel back in the 1950s, and John Doerr made it very popular, and he's written a book called Measure What Matters. Now, what is OKR? OKRs are objectives and key results. Now, when you're setting a goal for yourself, a lot of times what misses is people set goals for themselves in terms of what they want to achieve, but they never set the objective or the why behind why they want to achieve that. They don't have a compelling reason for their goal. Now, why New Year resolution does not work for a lot of times is because people do not set a compelling reason in their mind, because of which every single day when they wake up, they're reminded of that compelling reason. I'm going to ask you over here a question that I want you to reflect upon for a second. If you had to be the world's best dash, what would you fill that up with? Think about it. This is for yourself. This is not to tell anyone or to declare to anyone at this point of time. But I want you to just reflect on that and ask yourself, if I want to be the world's best dash, what would that be? And you could say a teacher, you could say a pianist, you could say a rollerblader, you could say a cook, a chef, you could say a speaker, you could say anything you want to do, right? You could say father, you could say mother, you could say whatever you want. And then you ask yourself, why? Why are you choosing that? And the moment you ask yourself why you're choosing that, and if you find that answer deep within you, then you ask yourself, what is a key result? What will indicate that you have become the best in that? And when you have a key measurable number, and when you can keep a score, I mean, you actually know exactly what is it that you are achieving. And this is something that you do on a regular basis, on a daily basis, perhaps, that you can keep score, you can keep track of. And when you know this, then you are a successful person, because you're going on this journey of success, because you'll ask yourself, if I'm not hitting the numbers, what needs to change? What is not working here? And the moment you can get feedback from your audience, from your clients, from your tribe, from the people who is consuming what you have to offer. Because if you have to be the world's best in anything, my friends, let me tell you this, you have to be adding value to someone. Unless and until you're not adding value into somebody else's life, you cannot be the best in anything. So your journey about being the best in something is a measure of how you're contributing to society and how you're adding value into other people's lives. And the moment you are doing that, you're sitting at home, you're playing the guitar, and you're playing amazing, you're playing the best, but nobody knows it, nobody can hear it. Against what are you calling yourself the best then? Right? So you have to be serving society in some form and shape. And the moment you get that about your journey, you start seeing how you can actually keep raising the bar. Now, I hope all of you have a notebook and pen in your hand, because I'm going to ask a lot of these questions, which I want you to reflect upon. So I want you to keep writing down these questions on your notepads and ask yourself so that something triggers. Now, I want to ask you another question over here. How many of you want to become millionaires? Now, if your answer is yes, say why. If your answer is no, also say why. And later, after the session is over, I want you to go back and write down your reasons. Right now, say yes or no on that piece of paper next to you. I want to be a millionaire. I don't want to be a millionaire. Now you have written your answer of yes and no. Hold on to that. And I want you to later in the evening, before you go to bed, write down the reasons why you said that. And whatever you say, let me give you this, is your belief system that you hold around money. And the moment you can identify that, then you can ask yourself, what do I need to do to elevate myself, to expand myself? Now, another great tool that I've seen for success is strengths. To know your strengths and to leverage upon it and to serve humanity with it. I found the definition of purpose, one of the greatest definitions that I've come across, and I've not come across a better one yet. It is to find what is God's greatest gift to you, which is a strength within you, finding that and then using it to serve humanity. And I found this as a great definition of a purpose. And the moment we can identify what our strengths are and how we can leverage upon it, then what happens is we create an opportunity for ourselves to expand in boundless ways. And one of the ways that you can identify your strengths is to do a test called Gallup's. Gallup's offers you a test which is for $50 and you will get a 25-page report. I coach people around it, but you will get a 25-page report and you can actually find out what are your top 5 strengths, top 10 strengths. And then you can ask yourself, how do I leverage upon it so that I make a difference in my life? And success, let me tell you one more thing. After all the things that I've mentioned over here, the most important is success leaves clues, including the greatest of greatest. Even if you ask Warren Buffett, for instance, Warren Buffett himself said that he has followed the greatest of investors and then modeled his life, modeled his investing around that. So one of the most famous investors of the 1930s to the 1950s was a gentleman called Benjamin Graham, who's written a book called Investing. I forget the name. So there is a book on investing that was written by Benjamin Graham. You can look it up. It is still a very, very popular book. It is one of the foundation books for investments. At the age of 8, Warren Buffett decided that before 30, he declared to his family, he said, I'm going to be a millionaire before I'm 30. So you can see very clearly, Warren Buffett was in the 3% very early on in his life. And it's not like he lives a lavish life. He still lives a very frugal life until today, even though he's got billions and billions of dollars. He lives a very, very frugal life. He still has his McDonald's breakfast. And there is a story about how his daughter, when she was pregnant, went to her father, Warren Buffett, and said, I'd like to do up my curtains at my home. Can I have some money? Warren Buffett said, sorry, I don't have any. So the frugality of how he lives his life. Now, a lot of people would be like, that is quite cruel for a father who has a lot of money not to give the children money. But it's that mindset and the perspective that I want to bring your attention to. Money, again, is a tool, and it's not about money that I'm really advocating over here. It's not really about you becoming millionaires. It's about you adding value into millions of people's lives. And we all have that opportunity. The only thing that is stopping us is by falling into the 97% bracket. Nothing else. Jump into the 3% bracket and you will be different. The majority of the people around us, if you look, if you ask, they will fall into the 97% bracket. You can do the simple experiment right from tomorrow. Go around the people that you know and ask them, do you have a written down goal? And you'll see 97% of the people around you don't. Now, what I mentioned over here about Warren Buffett is this. Warren Buffett, he started following Benjamin Graham and another gentleman called Fisher. And recently in an interview, Warren Buffett even said that he is 75% Benjamin Graham and 25% Fisher, which means he has modeled his life around these two amazing personalities, what they have learned and what you've taught him. And you just have to keep repeating it. I've heard this beautiful quote about successful people from a mentor of mine, whose name is Karthik Shiva. He mentioned this. And it's a very simple definition of success. Successful people are masters of the mundane. Successful people are masters of the mundane, which means they keep doing over and over again what works. And there is Sabri, who is a marketing genius, and he has spoken about how companies have marketing budgets, right? You have a marketing budget and you say, we're going to spend this much money for marketing. Now you ask the very simple question, why would you put a cap on your marketing budget? The moment you identify that you can put $1 and take out 5, or if you put $1 and you can take out 10, would you cap it? You wouldn't, right? I mean, you have got a minting machine over there. So how much ever you put, you can take more out of it. Companies put a cap because they have still not figured out how to put in 1 and take out 5, or 1 and take out even 2. Forget 10, forget 5. Even if it doubles, would you ever stop? But the fact for business, the fact for life, and all of that is this. There is no textbook. We all have to go through the lessons. We all have to find out what works for us. We all have to figure out where is our zone of genius, where is our strength lying, and then use that to serve humanity. And to find the problems that we want to solve, and to use the strength that is within us, and to wake up every single day passionate about life. And when we are coming from that space, then what happens is life becomes a joy. Life becomes a true joy. So now you know the why. Why the 3% are most successful. Let me share with you now what these people do. Now, what they do is they do modeling, right? Now, for those of you who are familiar over here, like Sushma, about modeling, Sushma is a model. She's very presentable and fashionable and all that stuff. But I'm talking from a perspective of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, modeling, where you model yourself around successful people. I'm going to share 5 things over here of how you can model around successful people. The first one that you have to do is identify with the paradigm. Now, before you start modeling, there's one thing that each one of us has to do. Remember, I asked you this question. I want to be the best in dash. Right? You would have answered that question, hopefully, on your piece of paper. Now, there has to be a measure for the best, right? Number one. And therefore, you know someone who is already the best. Go figure out who that best is. Go figure out who the top 5 are in your particular industry, in your particular whatever niche that you have chosen for yourself. Who are the top 3, 4, or 5 people who are acing it? And the only reason they are there is because of their mindset, because they have chosen to be in the 3%, is because they have decided to be there. Success never happens by accident. Success is always a choice you make. Success and achieving whatever you want is always a choice you make. Getting to wherever you want is always a choice you make. You decide, I want to get there, I want to be among the top 5. Nobody comes into the top 5 just by accident. So they have probably done a lot of things to get to the top. They have put in a lot of effort. And what those efforts are, you just have to do the same and do more and improve upon them. And that is what is modeling. So while you're doing modeling, while you are observing these amazing people who are the best in their niche, in your niche, what you want to excel in, you identify what their paradigms are. You identify what their beliefs are, what their values are, what their attitudes are. So you read biographies, you understand from the stories that they share where they come from. We have quite a few HR professionals in the room, and I'll share this about HR professionals. When they recruit people, and you are recruiting either an employee or even a spouse for that matter, what are you doing during the interview when you're asking questions? You are identifying what their beliefs, what their values, and what their attitudes are. You might ask different questions. What did you do? What have you done, etc. And through those, they reveal themselves. There's an interview, I think it was by Sundar Pichai, I believe, or I don't know who, where they asked somebody from HR, I guess, again, asked, in the Silicon Valley, when you recruit very high position individuals, let's say, for example, for the position of CEO of Google or companies like that, at that stature, you're not going to have interviews where you're going to ask about their technical competency. So what kind of a question would you ask? And he shared the answer. I don't know if it was Sundar or if it was somebody else. It doesn't matter who said it, because I always remember the lessons more than the teacher sometimes. And he said, we asked just one question and we gave them 30 minutes to answer. And this question that I'm going to share with you is something that you can take and apply in so many different areas of your life. When you meet and connect with people to identify what their beliefs, values, and attitudes are. And the question they ask is this: what has been your biggest failure and how did you deal with it? And it gives an opportunity for people to unravel themselves and share things that will actually allow us to understand what their paradigms are. So if you look at the most successful of people who are up there, their failures are there for each one of us to see. But we live in a world, we live in an age where we try to hide all our failures. We protect our failures, we don't show it or showcase it. But if we remember that our failures will connect us to our tribe even more, it will help us understand and embrace who we are and our journey. It becomes a very empowering way of being. So identifying what is the paradigm of the one that you want to model. So before you even do this modeling, what I would want you to do is this. I would want you to write down who are the top 5 people that you want to model. All right. We'll get into that later. Let me take you to the next point. The next one is identify what are the knowledge and skills that you have to become successful and be in the 3%. So first is you identify what are the paradigm that you should be holding for yourself so that you can be successful. So what beliefs, values, and attitudes that you should hold, and you can model that with watching and observing other successful people. Next is identify what are the knowledge and skills that other successful people have that you should have as well. So look at courses or certifications or methods or methodologies that you have to go in and adopt. The third one is emotional state, a very important one. If you look at every successful individual, no matter how much life beats them down, they're quite strong. They bounce back, they're confident, they're motivated, they're passionate, and they are in a peak performance state always. Now you ask yourself, how are they like that? What are they doing? What is their regular uh, daily habits, daily routines? What are the things that they're doing to maintain that emotional state? The emotional state is a very, very important aspect of how we are and how we will perform, because everything is energy, right? Everything. And the moment you believe that energy is everything, life is amazing. Just 2 days ago, I was reading about what Nikola Tesla had said about energy. He said, if we understand in this world, everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. And if we can get this aspect that everything is energy, frequency, and vibration, whether it is how we interact with people, whether it is how we attract wealth, whether it is how we want to impact the world, everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. And if we can figure out what energy levels to be in and to maintain, we are on the journey towards being more in the 3%. The next one is behaviors. So identify what the language patterns are of the people that you're modeling. So look for the choice of words that they make and how they construct their sentences. Because words have power. Words are energy and words have power. Everything that we say, either to somebody else or to ourselves, has a very deep impact on the quality of our life and the direction of our journey. And if we can identify the quality of our life and the direction of our journey is dependent on the choice of our words, then we will be quite mindful about how the successful people who are in the industry are doing it. And that will make all the difference. The next is they would identify what are the behaviors and the 5 senses, how they touch in terms of lives, in terms of how they are in a physical environment, their gestures, their body language, the smell. It could be the perfume that they're using. You could be impacted by that. So you could look what kind of a fragrance that you want to leave when you walk into a room. You would see that all these are small, subtle, simple things, but it makes a difference. Sight, how you dress yourself. There's a very interesting quote. It's not a quote, a message that I got from a friend of mine who said this. And I don't know where he got it from. He also mentioned who told him, this is not mine, but I'm just sharing over here with you. He said, don't dress for the person you are, but dress for the person you want to become. And when you dress for the person you want to become, then you already put yourself in the future state, which means you are in your current state is your future state. You are already going on that journey of becoming who you want to become. So you are constantly aware and bringing in your awareness your own success. And the last one in modeling is be mindful about your environment. And what I mean by that is surround yourself with like-minded people who give you constant feedback and who helps you grow. Join a mastermind or join groups or join NLG for all the workshops that they do over here. Come in continuously, constantly, and be in a learning mindset and remove toxicity from your life. The people who suck the energy out of you. Sometimes you cannot remove them. So what you do is you surround more of the positive ones. And the more positive people that you add into your life, the less will be the impact of people who are toxic in your life. That brings us to the end of the modeling and what I want you to all model. Moving forward, what I want to do over here is now I want to share with you how you can do, what action you can take. So the first thing that you can do is start modeling successful people. Go out and make a list. Right now, today itself, you have answered the question you want to be the best in what. Identify who are the best in that right now. And then follow OKR. Ask yourself, what is the objective of becoming the best in that? And what are key results that you will measure for yourself and how you're measuring for others as well. Seek and interview role models. So, for instance, you cannot reach the successful people. Find out role models in your society, in your circle, and learn from them. This will give you answers that you are not able to get by reading books or watching interviews. So, if there are questions that you are not finding answers to, doing an interview is a great way of filling in the blanks for your journey. Work for role models. Now, if you think about some of the greatest of people, including Warren Buffett, including people who went and worked for Thomas Alva Edison, and including if you had an opportunity to go and work for someone who is your role model for no money, would you do it? I believe you should, because you'll start seeing the impact of that will have a huge ripple effect over the entire course of your life. Find a mentor. Find a mentor who's actually gone that journey or who's actually reached a particular level of your path. Now, mentor, remember this is not a lifelong uh, association that you keep. You can have someone for a period of 1 or 2 years or 3 years. Identify clearly what aspects or elements that particular mentor can help you with. Now, you could have multiple mentors. One could be a financial mentor, one could be a technical mentor, one could be a relationship mentor. It could be for different aspects of your life. You can have different people who will act as mentors in your journey. And the moment you establish a clear understanding of what it is that you want from them and how you can progress to the level that they are already in, the best thing would be if you can outgrow your mentor and keep moving ahead and seek better mentors who have also gone along and gone ahead. So if you today cannot find, if you're working for a big MNC and if you cannot find the CEO, global CEO to be your mentor, find the regional CEO or find the country head to be your mentor or find your immediate supervisor to be your mentor. Choose whatever level you can and then keep moving forward, because that will take you one step further than where you are today. And when your journey becomes about moving one step further every single day, then you'll start seeing you will become unstoppable. And the last one is hire a coach. Get someone who will take the best out of you and help you understand where you come from. And the moment you understand where you're coming from and what your challenges are, because when you're in the frame, you cannot see the picture, right? You're blinded by everything that is happening around you in terms of action. So you're living a life where you are in playing mode. If any of you have learned swimming, let me tell you this. A coach would always stand outside the pool to watch what you're doing correct and what you're doing wrong. In a football ground, the coach is always not on the ground, but he's outside the ground watching what can be corrected. The players are on the field. You, my friends, are on the field playing the game of life. And when you're playing the game of life, you cannot see what others can see from the outside. And when you can get a ringside view of what others are seeing, take that as feedback and make sure that you're not sitting in a car heading for nowhere, but just moving around, but you're going for a specific destination. Or imagine even a football ground where the two teams are coming together to play the game of football and there are no goalposts. Imagine how that game would look like. Just a bunch of players on the field kicking the ball around. I, for one, wouldn't want any one of us over here to be kicking around this gift that we call life for nothing. We have a great opportunity to use it. Now, I'll tell you, you guys are also 3% of the 100% of the people who have received a notification about this event. 97% chose not to attend this event. But I'll tell you also this, only 3% from this group will take and apply what has been shared. The rest 97% of you will just take it as information and move on with life. The 97% will not bother to answer the questions that were asked today. The 97% of the people will not bother to do the things that were asked before you go to bed today. Not for me, but for your own self. Now you can choose whether you want to be in the 3% or the 97%. Nobody's there to stop you. It is a choice that you make to yourself to celebrate your life. I wish you nothing but the very best of what life has to offer for you. And that brings me to the end of my conversation today with you. I'm open to taking questions. I will hand over to Sushma so that she can moderate, or Jason, I'm not sure. I'll stop the share.
Awesome session from awesome speaker. Thank you very much, Samir. A great learning. I have my notes very well put in. So many actions to be taken. So much of learning from your session as always. I would share very few points because I have so many points to share. In fact, I missed noting why part completely. So if you can please share with me, that would be great because I have missed few parts of it. Others I have definitely taken note. So my aha moment is one when you shared success is defined by when you improve daily, right? The progressive improvement, yes, amazing. And also how you need to monitor or how you need to measure every step. That's very important. You also spoke about the books, you spoke about the Gallup test. Yes, thank you for sharing those wonderful learnings which can give us so many things. And as you said, action is the key. Whatever we do, however we do it, and why is very important. Why am I doing what I am doing? I love the statement where you said success leaves clues, and successful people are the masters of mundane. So many learnings. I still have so much to share, what I have noted down. But yes, can I ask here a question myself? So when we still define our goals, we define our steps to achieve them, why do still people procrastinate?
So that's a very good question. And it is already mentioned, and I'll repeat it over here again. Said the why is not very clearly defined to them. I mean, they might have a why, but that's not a deep enough why. And a lot of people say that they have a procrastination problem. What I say is they don't have a procrastination problem. In fact, nobody has a procrastination problem. What they have is called a prioritization problem. And the moment you fix your prioritization problem of what you prioritize to do, the procrastination gets eliminated. So there's one question that you can ask yourself, and each one of us can do this every single day to make a difference in your life, is to ask yourself at the beginning of the week, what are the 3 things that if I complete this week, which will make a difference and which will make sure that I am moving in my journey. And then every single day when you wake up, you ask yourself, what are the top 3 things that I must absolutely finish today before I go to bed? And if they become committed to these 2 activities, procrastination gets eliminated automatically. It's just about not having the tool sometimes or not having the mindset. Procrastination again is like a mindset problem, right? It's not a physiological problem. It's not a problem that is there because of inability to do something. People don't take action because they are not able to do it. They are able to do it, and they have set the goal for themselves to do it because they can do it. They would not choose something to do if they cannot do it. So it is just a matter of prioritization and a mindset. And the moment you surround yourself with the people who will lift you, first of all, and secondly, where you constantly seek to be lifted within yourself and you create the environment to keep lifting yourself, procrastination just walks out of the door.
Oh, nicely explained. Thank you very much. The floor is open for questions. I have seen Pongal raising hand. Just give me a minute. Jason, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sushma. Thank you so much, Mr. Samir. It was, in fact, a $1 million strategy for success, and you have given it for free. Thanks a lot. And I had this in my mind, the what and how, but the action part, I got it today. Thanks a lot. The action part, the 5 actions which I'm going to start from day one. In fact, I started from the day one of January 1st, 2021. The seek and interview role models. So I'm trying for that one. But the start modeling successful people, I had in my list almost 6 to 7 people. But one of the questions which I wanted to ask you today is that when I start to model successful people, this question comes to my mind when shall I lose my character of being genuine, or shall I lose my character of will I compromise with my character? Because for example, my one of my person who I am following is Simon Sinek. So if I start to follow completely Simon Sinek, or if I try to model him for any particular, for example, mindset or setting goals, uh, my genuinity or my characteristics, will it be compromised? So that's the question which keeps on coming into my head. So would you like to solve it for me today?
Very good question. It depends on how you define the word modeling or follow. Is it the same as copying?
No, I follow.
So when you say follow, what do you mean by follow?
I take 100% what they're telling. I don't really apply it, but I take it.
What do you mean by take it?
I mean, listening and engaging.
Okay. So how would that compromise your position?
Uh, I think that some things which are coming into from their mouth doesn't apply to me. But if I try to start doing these things, then my character would be compromised. I feel so. I've not done it yet.
So if Simon Sinek told you to go kill someone, would you kill?
No,
Why?
because he will not say like that. I'm sure.
No, I'm just giving an extreme example. He says something that you don't agree with.
Correct.
Would you do it?
No.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great. Pongalji, would you like to go ahead?
They'll have to.
Yes, I have already sent the prompt.
Yes, thank you, Sushma and Samir. Happy evening.
Good
Uh,
evening.
Samir, actually, I was just having discussing even this in the evening, and I was so happy that you was talking about this. My aha moment here was like, success is never by accident; it's a choice you make. Because that's one thing that I thought, okay, and that was the best thing that happened to me during the conversation today. And my question is, uh, see, Samir, when I have been writing my goals for past few years, and when I created my vision statement and vision board and all, I had the first thing that had for this year was I wanted to be there in Dubai for my birthday, 14th. Uh, See, so when I see my vision board, the first thing that I feel is no, it didn't happen. I didn't make it. So a feeling of a failure of having set that goal. It is not that I didn't have the money. Frankly speaking, yes, it's not that alone. It's not just, but the present situation, I didn't want to take risks, so we didn't want to travel. That's the main reason. And the second thing is talking about the school. I've been having that dream about my school, and I've been at it for the past 2 years, very much near in everything. And again, there was a setback. And again, I've stopped it now. So when I see my vision board, the first two things which I wanted for this year have not happened. So my goals, though I have written them, and see, I'm modifying it. It's not that it has not happened. I'm just modifying it. How do I modify it? How do I change my beliefs into it to ensure that I don't take a belief of defeat, having failed, or not being able to do it or achieve it, kind of like
What is your relationship with defeat and failure?
relationship.
Yeah,
It has always been my footsteps to success, to the next level.
it has been what?
The footsteps to go to the next level.
Okay.
Then,
Then
whenever there's been a challenge, so that question answers my question, I believe. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Like, oh my God. Thank you, Samir. Thank you.
yep. Over to you, Sushma.
Adnan, go ahead.
All right. I just want to ask a simple question like how to deal with the bad experiences with your past life and then make a new start to make a better future for yourself and others. That just simple. You are on the daily basis, you are fighting with your old bad experiences that demotivate you on the regular basis. So how we can just self motivate ourselves without the help of others.
When you say without the help of others, what do you mean? Now, don't mute yourself, Adnan, till the conversation is over because we'll be having a conversation.
It's just like you. I had, I have worked with multiple startup. I have many teammates who work initially with a good intention, but afterward they have some sort of, uh, you can say, break away with the intention or whatsoever the ideology we used to have in the beginning, and afterward they have been offered with a good salary package and all these things. So you just lost away with all the motivation, like you no longer wanted to start a new something like that. So how we can deal with that? How to start ourselves, start trusting strangers?
Don't mute yourself. Don't mute yourself.
So
Yeah,
have you understood my question so far?
I've understood I believe I have, because of which I'm going to ask you a few more questions to understand a little more deeper.
Sure enough.
You're saying you have lost every motivation to start another business or to start up something. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So what do you want to do next?
I want to make a new start and start with a new business model, and then so that I could, through that business model, I could help others as well as I could be a mentor or something like that for the others. I
So
just
what
like to help others. That's the aim of my life.
so what have you learned from all these
People
failures
who,
so far?
sorry.
What have you learned from all these mistakes and failures you have had so far in life?
If you would be like too good with the others, irrespective of all the circumstances, you would be get very badly affected by damages you would get. Dhokebazi, you can say. That's all I know.
So what you're saying, and I'm going to repeat over here, you're saying is if you be good to others, they will cheat you. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly what I have experienced so far from my last practical experiences, 12 years of working experiences. Either I work in a company or in a job or in a doing internship or making working over a startup or something like that.
Okay. Now, is this true for you or is this true for all the business in the world?
Most of the cases I have seen so far, so they have decided to move to a different state or they have decided to move to a different country, and then
No.
afterward
Adnan,
they.
my question is,
Mhm.
what you're saying, is it true for all the business in the world that if you're good to the employees, then they will cheat you? Or
No,
are there businesses?
no, it's just for the specific reason. It's just like if you are in a developing state or developing country, you would be facing some people would come up and say why you are working like that. If you have experience so far, so why you are here? Just move
You're not
abroad.
answering the question. Adnan, my question is this.
Mhm.
Just tell me yes or no.
No,
Right?
yeah,
Is it true that every business in the world,
no, it is
so
not every business in the world. Some of them.
some of them, very good.
Yeah.
Now, there are businesses where they are doing it correct, right? Or there are business leaders who are doing it right, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that was what my talk was about today. So if you have to model yourself, pick
Mhm.
the right model.
Okay. So how
So if you're finding people in your circle, your friends or someone who is also starting businesses and they're having similar results, you're surrounding yourself with stories that are not teaching you anything. That is only reinforcing to you what you already believe.
so that means I have to change my belief and all these things. Okay.
If you don't change, nothing changes.
Yeah, change is a basic need. If I will not going to change myself, obviously nothing would change around myself.
If
That's all.
what you're doing is working for you right now, don't change. If something is not working, ask yourself what has to change. Sometimes it is beliefs, sometimes it is attitude, sometimes it is values, sometimes it is business approach, sometimes it is your learning, sometimes it is your education, sometimes it is certifications, sometimes it is courses that you'll have to take. You have to go and identify what has to change.
All right. I got it. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, next. I
Mr.
see.
Sudevan,
Sudhir.
Mr. Sudevan, you're unmuted. Yeah.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Sushma. Thank you, Samir.
Good evening.
Fortunately, I missed a bit of, your beginning. Anyway, it was a very wonderful session and a lot of learning, very informative. I have a question. That is, how do you find your niche actually? Suppose you are into a particular profile. And how do you find your niche? How can you, suppose you are into 2, 3 things? How do you find what is going to be the best thing for you?
So what are you into?
I am into training.
Training what?
Uh, Training. My focus was into student development. So
Okay.
I, actually speaking, I enjoy doing it, right?
Okay.
I wanted to switch to corporates. I have done it also, but I wanted to actually focus on corporates now. I wish to move to sales training.
So you seem to have you know your niche. What are you struggling with?
No. What I was trying to is, no, that is what is my wishes. I wish to move.
Yeah, you wish to move to a specific niche, which you describe what it is very clearly. You want to do sales training for corporates.
Yeah.
You defined it. What is your ambiguity over there?
No. What I was trying to tell, how do I know that? How do I find out that? Will I be able to be good as I am here, right? Like I am into student development, I am into employability. So I was doing good. So, but
So in student development,
yeah,
how good are you right now?
I'm fairly doing good. I
How
think
good? How good? On a scale of 1 to 100.
1 to 100, I would say 75, 80%.
What were you on day one?
0.
Okay. Did you get your answer?
Okay. Okay. No, my question was that if I switch, do I take a risk of switching this and find that, is there any possibility of identifying, will I be able to be good at this particular area? Then this is what I just wanted to
When
join.
you were 0%, when you started off, what was the guarantee that you will reach the 75% you say you are right now? Was there any guarantees?
No guarantee.
Still you dived in. Why?
Sorry.
Still you dived in.
Yeah, correct, exactly.
How many years ago was that?
5.
What gave you the courage?
I had no other option.
So today your problem is what? That you have option.
Yeah, I can continue in this or I can switch to that.
So your real challenge is that you have options.
Exactly.
Now, you want to be successful?
Yes.
Have you heard the story of this general who went with his army to an island to fight a battle? And then he burned all the bridges. And it's now a metaphor also. Burn all your bridges. Because the moment you know that there is a way to go back or to do something else, you don't give your 100%. So if you choose to be successful in this niche of sales for corporates, burn your bridges and you will see there is no way that you cannot be the best.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you. Yes.
Geet ji, you had a question. I have sent a prompt if you can ask.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi,
Hello.
sir. Good evening.
Hi, Geet.
I'm Geet.
Yes, Geet. How are you?
I'm good, sir. So I have a question, sir, that I want to wake up early in the morning, but I fail to do so. Whatever motivation I give to myself, whatever I try to do. And I know waking up early in the morning is very good, especially for me. Still, I feel sleepy whole the day if I anyhow have to wake up in the morning. And I don't do so many things just because I don't take up some of the good opportunities also. Um, just because I had to wake up early in the morning. I left my job also because I had to wake up early in the morning. Now I want to overcome this thing and I don't know how to do it.
What will happen if you don't wake up early in the morning?
Sir, I don't do like so many things like I follow BK Brahma Kumari organization and early morning meditation is a must there,
What time
which
do you
I
go to
don't
sleep?
do.
What time do you go to sleep?
I sleep well in time between 10 and 11.
Start sleeping at 7. You will wake up at 5.
At 7. Yes, good idea, but I have to serve dinner to my family till 9.
Tell them you have to
Yes.
get up early.
No, are you telling me seriously, sir, or are you kidding?
You have to figure a way out. I can't tell you what to do. I can tell you sleep at 5 o'clock. You will get up at 5. After 12 hours of sleep, you won't want to sleep. But it's not what I tell you to do. You have to figure out why you want to do it, number one. And then you will have to identify what action steps that you will have to take. Right now, what you're doing is you're trying to push yourself towards waking up.
Yes. Exactly.
That will not work. If you look at all those people over here, the champions of 5 a.m. club, they don't do it because they want to wake up. They don't push themselves to wake up.
I
There is
want
an
to wake up
energy
myself.
force from within them that pulls them to wake up. So you have to create the pull inside you so that it comes from within you and not from outside you. If you have to push yourself, you'll do it for 1 day, 2 days, 5 days.
Yes.
Have you ever caught a flight where you had to wake up early in the morning?
So, yes, I had to. When I have to wake up, then only I wake up. Means when the
Exactly.
question
Very
comes.
good. Now define that have to for yourself for every day, and you will see you will wake up. Your have to has not been defined yet.
I still can't find that have to means
Do you want Lizzie or Somi or Pongal to tell you what you have to? Or do you want to find it
yes.
from inside you?
Yes, if anyone can help me out, then I would really be thankful if anyone can make me wake up in the morning.
No one can help you.
Help me,
No
help
one.
me.
No one
No,
can.
if anyone can help me to find my have to.
No one can help you. You'll have to seek from inside you.
Then I will keep sleeping all the life.
If that excites you and that puts a smile on your face, then I say sleep. I don't wake up for the 5 a.m. club, and I find that's perfectly okay for me. But I wake up for a 5 a.m. when I have to go out with my friends and do workout. That excites me. And for me, I do that. And the days that my friends don't come for workout, I sleep. So you just have to find out what is your why, what is your how, and what is your what. And you define these things and you put in structures into place, you'll automatically wake up. Nobody can tell you this, what to do. They can tell you what they do. You can ask, what do I take inspiration from? So one thing that I would recommend you to do is speak to as many people as possible in your circle who wake up at 5 a.m. and ask them why they wake up at 5 a.m. Not how, why they wake up, what makes them wake up. And maybe one of those answers will resonate with you. And just like what Jason was saying, you don't want to copy or model somebody else when you don't want to do it for yourself, right? You want to find out what is it that will work for you, right?
So I ask my question here from the people who are present. Please answer in the chat box. Why do they wake up in the morning? It's
Great. Great action taking. Thank you so much, Geet. Go ahead and share with in the chat why each one of you, if you wake up at 5, why do you wake up?
Thank you.
Thank you, Geet.
Thank you, sir.
Over to you, Sushma.
Thank you, everyone, for those who have asked the questions, which has get us more clarity. We are still at 26 people. So if anyone has any further questions, do let us know, or else we will be closing the session soon. And I would like to say once again, very big thank you to Samir for being here. And this is since we are meeting virtually, this is a virtual bouquet for you, for the wonderful session. You have shared so many insights with us. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for having me here and for this
And
wonderful.
would you like to share your experience,
My
Samir?
experience of being over here,
Yes.
it has been a profound one. Always, when I get the opportunity to speak, I always do a little bit of work and ask myself, what can I give and what can I offer? And it is this preparation process that I enjoy more than the delivery process a lot. The whole process of thinking and creating is something that really excites me. And I think, just like the tip of the iceberg that we always say, you only see the results at the end, but you don't see the preparation. And for me, the preparation aspect of whether it was a mind map that I created, which I did, I started creating that mind map at 5 o'clock. And for the last few days, I've been in my mind thinking and processing and seeing what is the greatest value that I can offer. So that was possible only because you created that opportunity for me to give that mental space to myself. And for that, I'm deeply thankful to you and Jason. Uh, really appreciate for that. Really enjoyed the questions that were asked, which allowed me to shake my thoughts and see how is it that I can offer the greatest of value again. It is through these questions that is when answered through questions itself that brings in light bulb moments even for myself. So yes, thank you.
Thank you, Samir.
And I really
Okay, so
appreciate, and I really, once again, I really appreciate the work that you guys are doing. It is not an easy task. I know how difficult it is to get speakers and to get this thing going on a consistent basis, to keep adding value to the community, to keep promoting it. I've done this for a long time and I know it is a challenge and it requires a teamwork. It requires a lot of coordination. So really applaud your selfless work that you guys are doing. And I would encourage all the participants over here to go out to your communities and share the information that you're learning here and promote this group, the networking and learning group, so that we have more participants, not just 30, but hundreds of people who would take benefit from what Sushma is offering. Right now she's put up over here who's going to be the next speaker. And I know Avel Pinto is a great speaker and who adds a lot of value. I'm not going to take away your thunder, Sushma, but yes, I would really second everyone to not miss the next week's speaker. Over to you, Sushma.
thank you. Thank you, Samir, for your kind words. And thank you for the support. Thank you for the appreciation. So next week's speaker is Avel Pinto. And it will be also a great session how we had with Samir today. So he's HR and supply chain professional, NLP master coach, mentor and speaker, and he's founder of Dubai Jobs Hunt, which is a great group again. So I'll be waiting for you all. We will be here welcoming you and being with you next Saturday, same time, 6 p.m. Dubai time and 7:30 p.m. India time. Thank you once again for being here and taking away the amazing learnings with Samir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Samir.
Thank you. Ciao.
Thank you so much.
And thank you to my team, Jason, Anil, Taki. for being with us always.
Thank you, Sushma.
Sure.
Thank you to the audience for making this a big success.
Bye-bye.